People's Kid, how we doing? It's your boy Kobe back with another video. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Today I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell and the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody knows the Los Angeles Lakers are a laughingstock. They're a terrible basketball team, but they have a lot of young players, and D'Angelo Russell is probably their best player out of the young players. My video today is kind of discussing about what the Lakers can do to try to maximize D'Angelo Russell's output for them, because right now he's just too on and off. So without further ado, let's get into the video. When discussing the best point guards in the NBA, there are clear indicators that show their elite status. Of course, point totals and assist numbers are important for the purpose of analyzing their production, but beyond this, there exists a tacit understanding between teammates and coaches alike that their stardom cannot be questioned. Whether it be Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, or the shooting guard playing point guard James Harden, each of these players command the respect of the locker room through their leadership and unique intangibles that elevate their games to a higher level. As of now, it is yet to be seen whether or not Lakers point guard D'Angelo Russell will ever reach this level in his game. Not even yet 21, the second-year player has NBA fans guessing as to what he will become in the near future. In this short video, I'm going to take a look at the main strengths and weaknesses of Russell's game and whether or not he still projects to be the next great Laker point guard the front office drafted him to be. Before getting into Russell's game in its current form, I think it's appropriate to take a look at how he rose atop the draft boards in 2015, something very few people saw just a year before. You see, despite seeing Russell's name as a for sure 5-star prospect among the top 15 players of the high school class of 2014, there wasn't a lot of hype for him as a one-and-done type of player. Committing to Thad Matta and the Ohio State Buckeyes as a junior in 2013, Russell actually came to Columbus listed as a shooting guard despite running point guard duties for much of his senior season at Montverde Academy, dishing up many passes to the currently injured Sixers rookie Ben Simmons. But with all Big Ten defensive team senior Shannon Scott expected to lead the team's point guard role, it was still a question as to what position Russell would find most of his minutes at his lone year at Ohio State. Well, that is until Russell proved to the Ohio State coaching staff that he was far and away the best player on the team. In a preseason matchup against West Virginia, head coach Thad Matta couldn't help but be impressed with Russell's basketball IQ, offering the quote, "He sees things that a lot of other guys can't see." And while Russell's play was still secret to a lot of NBA scouts, Matta realized early the Buckeyes' best recipe for success was to put the ball in D'Angelo's hands early and often. For the season, D'Angelo averaged a steady 19.3 points per game to go along with 5 assists a game, totals that are accomplished very rarely in the Big Ten, let alone for a freshman. By the time March hit around, scouts were gushing about Russell as a future franchise NBA player. The main strengths NBA scouts saw in Russell's game was the poise and pace in which he played the game, evidenced from his domination in the college game. Similar to many other future NBA star point guards, Russell's presence on the court alone dictated the pace in which the game was played, operating successfully in both areas of transition and the half court for the Buckeyes. Along with his inability to be sped up at the college level, Russell also possessed a solid jumper from mid-range and beyond, which helped immensely in his routine triumphs in the pick and roll. But for all his elite play as a team's point guard, perhaps his greatest strength was his versatility in playing the 2 guard at the near efficient rate he played the 1, showing little discomfort in coming off screens, ready to shoot the way we see guys like Clippers guard JJ Redick do exclusively in the NBA. So with all that being said, there's little doubt Russell can make an immediate impact in the league, but was he better than prospects like Duke's Jahlil Okafor and Latvian player Kristaps Porzingis? As we all know, the Lakers sure thought so and drafted him number 2 overall, a sign they believe the current golden age of point guards diminished the overall importance of having a traditional big. Yet discussing Russell's rookie season requires a perspective that explains the environment in which he went through his early development. As much as the Lakers believed in Russell as their future cornerstone player, the roster still lacked the cohesion necessary for Russell to excel at his best. First of all, Russell wasn't the only young guard the Lakers hoped to develop. During the 2014-2015 NBA season, rookie Jordan Clarkson proved to be one of the biggest steals of the 2014 NBA draft, emerging as one of the lone Laker bright spots amidst a great deal of injuries to key Laker players during the year. After the All-Star break, Clarkson garnered averages of 16.4 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 4.6 rebounds a game, while shooting 47.9% from the field. Another guard who's adept to play both the 1 and the 2, Clarkson spent most of his time towards the end of the 2014-2015 season at point guard, earning praise from at the time head coach Byron Scott. But despite his high level of play, the plan of the Lakers brass was to give Russell the reps at point guard once the 2 players joined forces, because while Clarkson showed potential at the 1, the Lakers front office saw Russell as a player with more upside in the long run. Yet the biggest hindrance to Russell's development in his rookie year wasn't the presence of Clarkson or even returning rookie forward Julius Randle, a player who hadn't played since breaking his leg in his NBA debut 1 year prior. In truth, the biggest hurdle Russell had to overcome his rookie year was deferring to Laker legend Kobe Bryant, who the Lakers decided would get a proper farewell at the expense of development of their young players. So what did this mean? Well, the nights that Kobe played, it meant no player would have the ball in their hands more than a Black Mamba, evidenced by his team-leading 32.2% usage rate. And this meant less time for Russell to fully understand the offensive and defensive nuances of the NBA at the point guard position, a position that was still not quite a natural fit for him. Another issue for Russell his rookie year was catching the ire of head coach Byron Scott from an early point in the season. Maybe due to Scott's involvement in coaching young Kyrie Irving and Chris Paul to phenomenal phenomenal rookie seasons, Scott seemed to hold a high standard for D'Angelo, even resorting to benching him early in the season after inconsistent play from the rookie. Of course, some of this could be put on Russell, as occasional off-the-court drama headlined the immaturity still ingrained in the 19-year-old.
Do you feel that somehow you put his personal life, and in particular his marriage, in jeopardy?
Honestly, I do.
But even with the obvious consequences in yielding the Black Mama's presence and Byron Scott's clear preference to veterans, Russell showed promise in his first year with the Lakers, averaging 13.2 points per game, 3.3 assists per game, and 3.4 rebounds per game in only 28.2 minutes. Let's be clear, that's not a bad line to build off of whatsoever. Considering the circus that was going on with the Lakers last year, I'd argue Russell came out with a W by season's end and salvaging some type of improvement. So before talking about Russell this year, let's lay out several things that we need to see in his sophomore season to qualify him as a future franchise player. 1. Can he build on his flash of point guard instincts that he showed at times during the season? While undoubtedly a score-first guard, Russell certainly has the talent in setting up teammates in the pick and roll and focus. 2. Could he build a level of scoring not predicated heavily on his up and down shooting while also improving his finishing around the rim? Russell had some big scoring games his rookie season, but these were inflated by hot shooting performances from 3. Scoring in this manner gives way to high levels of inconsistency, especially for a player like Russell who's a good, not great shooter at the NBA level. Volume scores are a dime a dozen in today's NBA, and despite them being a nice piece for a winning team, the Lakers had much higher aspirations for Russell when they drafted him. Finally, the third question I had for Russell heading into the sophomore season was whether or not he could improve his overall level of commitment to the game. I can't say for sure the work ethic that Russell possessed his rookie year, but sometimes perception really is reality. His overall inconsistency alongside his playfulness throughout the season at times made me wonder how bad D'Angelo really wanted to be great. If Russell looked to prove to the Lakers front office that he was serious about becoming a star player in this league, he needed to drop all the extra off-the-court drama and become disciplined in his craft. Having said all this, let's fast forward to D'Angelo Russell present day. For the season, D'Angelo has slightly improved on his averages to 14.3 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, and 4.4 assists per game on a field goal percentage of 39.6%. Interestingly enough, Russell has increased his numbers despite actually averaging less minutes per game than he did last year at 27.4 minutes per game. At the same time, Russell turns the ball over around 2.6 times a game, a number that gives him an assist to turnover ratio under the standard benchmark of 2 to 1. But let's forget the numbers for right now. Let's pay close attention to the eye test. Has D'Angelo made improvements in the 3 things that I touched on? When taking a look at Russell's game from the context in which I posed the 3 things he needs to improve, it's clear there is still deficiency that might have Laker fans disappointed. Despite the increased assist number, Russell's not looking like a true point guard right now, doing little to prove to naysayers that he could be the playmaker that he was at Ohio State. For all the confidence and poise Russell played with in college running the point, he simply looks unsure of himself too many times bringing the ball up for the Lakers in his second season. The most frustrating thing about Russell at the moment is his erratic inconsistency from stretches where he looks like he's making strides only to fall back into a major funk. There is no better example of this than the month of January in describing this trend for D'Angelo. In the first 5 games of January this year, Russell looked like he might have figured out some things, averaging 20.8 points per game, 5 assists per game, and 5 rebounds per game. In short, Russell looked like he did during his Ohio State games, playing with the poise and pace while patiently taking what the defense gave him. During the stretch, Russell even told the media that he believes the success is largely due to having a consistent routine, saying, quote, "I had no idea a routine is what I needed." Yet just when you thought Russell was starting to turn the corner and putting together quality production on a nightly basis, D'Angelo took another step back. After the game against the Orlando Magic on January 8th, one of his best all-around games of the season, Russell failed to score double digits in 4 of his next 5 games, highlighted by a dismal 33% field goal percentage in that stretch. Even worse, Lakers head coach Luke Walton opted to keep Russell on the bench for most or even all of the fourth quarter, arguing, "Whoever's bringing it, whoever's playing hard and playing the way that we wanted to play is going to be in at the end of the game." Looking at the biggest struggles in these down games for Russell, it unsurprisingly starts with the jump shot, something that I already mentioned heavily influences the success of Russell's offensive game at the NBA level. But the bigger issue with Russell is that he lets his poor shooting double down on the rest of his game, playing with less assertiveness and setting up his teammates on O, and becoming less focused and engaged on the defensive end. So as frustrating as it may be, the Lakers are back to square one with D'Angelo Russell. Still not entirely sure what they have because of his inconsistent performances. Currently, Russell's injured with a calf injury and looks to return action soon, but in the meanwhile, the Lakers need to prepare for his return in a way that will help maximize his production. In my opinion, the Lakers truly need to make a decision on whether D'Angelo's a point guard, or if they want to focus his development as an off-ball shooting guard. The current rotation the Lakers have give Russell minutes at both the 1 and the 2, at times focusing on setting up his teammates and other times exclusively looking for a shot off the catch. Quite frankly, unlike his time at Ohio State, Russell isn't good enough at either of these positions yet in the NBA for him to switch off playing between point guard and shooting guard. For him to see actual consistent development, I think he needs to get all of his minutes at just one single position for the Lakers to reap the benefits of his talent. Of course, as Lakers fans and management already know, the higher upside for Russell as a player is at the point guard position. This is mainly because it allows Russell to combine his playmaking as a function of scoring and dishing to teammates in multiple areas of the court. While this is the ideal scenario for Lakers management, maybe Russell just isn't best suited for franchise point guard duties and will succeed at a better rate as a shooting guard, coming off screens and focusing primarily on becoming a great shooter at the NBA level. Because as streaky as Russell is at the moment, D'Angelo has shown the potential certainly there for him to become a knockdown shooter in the NBA. But in accomplishing this feat, it will take time, hard work, and legitimate direction and vision on the player he's trying to be. I realize the Lakers have other guys they're trying to develop as well, such as Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle, but I still think Russell is the biggest mystery in what he can turn into. And the clock is ticking on D'Angelo. Soon enough, Lakers will have to make a decision on whether they're willing to give Russell a contract extension beyond his rookie deal, or maybe even consider trading him if they're unsatisfied with his development. While he's only in year 2 of his career in the NBA, there will soon be shiny and new intriguing NBA prospect piquing the interest of lottery teams like the Lakers. So if the Lakers truly want to see what they got in D'Angelo Russell, they need to decide what type of player they want him to be and give him the consistent minutes needed at the position for him to succeed. Otherwise, they might end up spinning their wheels years down the road with another player who failed to reach the potential of their talents. So there you guys have it. D'Angelo Russell, as I see it on the LA Lakers, I think the Lakers have to decide if he's going to be a point guard or a shooting guard. If you spend half your time playing the 1 in the game and you spend half the time playing the 2 at the game, well, you're not going to get the consistent reps you need to become very effective at either one. Lakers really need to decide, hey, D'Angelo, you're a point guard. Let's try to get you to be a point guard. Or, hey, D'Angelo, you know what? Focus on your shooting. You have the potential to be a great shooter. Take some shots and just go for it. I think that's one way D'Angelo Russell can still reach his potential as a great player in the NBA. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. If you like basketball videos, subscribe. We're gonna do a lot of basketball videos, probably do about once a week, maybe twice a week, if the schedule permits it. Also, let me hear what you guys think in the comments. I think this is a very interesting video. There's a lot of ways people can think about D'Angelo Russell, so I wanna hear you guys' thoughts. Yeah. Also, if you have any requests for videos, let me know. I'm very interested in doing more videos. I had a blast making this video. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one, and deuces.
Yeah.